Whew. Phew. Look at that quick switch. Look at that quick switch. Let's see. What's up, guys? Welcome to VKH Live. Welcome to the POIDOL Power Hour. I'm on time, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm on time. After this week, 3 or 4 minutes late is that's I think that counts as on time in Jeff time. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, so I have these nice POIDOL gifts that Delta made. Delta's in the chat, goes in the chat. Yeah, I have one uploaded to Streamlabs and the rest are uploading. That's what actually had me hung up the most, as I forgot. I forgot it's not always just YouTube that's a piece of shit to me. But yeah, so okay, this is all right. So I guess this is the part. This is my coming out story. This is my coming out moment where I actually tell you guys I've low key been a very, very, very big on POIDOL for a very long time. Actually, like since before they debuted. I have. I've been kind of like softly. I know a lot of people were requesting this stream, or, I mean, I got a lot of requests. I don't know if it was from the same two people, but their PVs get. Let's see, their PVs get a lot of views, right? They have to, from what I remember about them. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I said that on purpose. Yeah, that was for you, Delta. Yeah, I mean, like, let's see. Their second single, 124 views in about 9 months. Yeah, so they're quite popular. So so I've been following POIDOL since they put out their very first, since before they debuted, actually. So the story with POIDOL is they're the third band on Goemon, the Goemon record label. Goemon Records, the record label that has Arlequin and Pentagon on it. And from everything I can tell, they really are like version 3.0 of what Goemon I think is looking for. And what Goemon's looking for is they seem to be on the cusp of becoming the next BP Records, in terms of like having like a solid but basic lineup of indie bands whose music can engage a wide enough audience that they can really gain a platform with it, and really like just do some serious stuff, even though they're an indie label, so you'll notice like the BP record bands, it's like if you look at their live DVDs, Kiryu is like is like got this crazy like set, even though it's just an indie band. Goemon kind of has similar ambitions when you see some of their the difference in size and ambition of like I guess Arlequin compared to back in the day versus now. You can see they're kind of trying to do the same thing, and so they had their I guess I don't know what you call it. they had their Neo Visual K band, which was Arlequin, and then they had their, I guess, I thought it was like their unique, very uniquely themed standout band, which is Pentagon. If you want to correlate those two over to like Kiryu is very unique for BP, and Roy's just puts out, these like just Roy's, I don't understand why they're not in more anime openings, because they rule the indie scene when it comes to that Kira Kira K sound with with the anime thing. But that's almost like what Arlequin has just continued to chase after. But they needed like a quirky third guy, and for BPR, that's Kodomo Dragon. But for Goemon, it seems like it's POIDOL. But the difference is that Goemon Records bands, they're kind of taking it a bit further than I've seen BP Records bands do. And I'm going to get into this because I'm doing streams for the record labels later on. They really are working on like this like style that I think that they think will really blow up, like this kind of a sound that it's heavier, it's a little bit heavier and louder, and it's noticeably better produced. So it results in like these really catchy, but like the more metal version of like some of the more popular songs you would see coming from BP bands. Like Arlequin's like a heavier and like a slightly heavier, slightly more wilder Roy's. Wild is like another way to put it, or energetic, like it's very energized. And Pentagon is like all over the place in their experimentation, for example. But what neither one of them really had the personality for is taking that actual style itself, tackling like that Kira Kira K style in its oldest, like deepest sense, and figuring out a way to, and just having the personality to pull that off, like how Roy's did, like how Vivid did before them, and just having it match them as a band. It doesn't really match Arlequin. I hear Arlequin songs, I'm like, I'm waiting for Arlequin to go to something that's like heavier as opposed to lighter. I hear Pentagon songs and they do that. I'm like, I'm waiting for, Pentagon to, do something crazy and weird and spooky and quirky, as opposed to, this style. I hear POIDOL do it. I'm like, oh, this is great. I love everything about it. It feels like, them, and it's like it's like they just have this really energized approach to making music, the kind of music that would sell well regardless, but it's like you listen to it and you're like, this is like, they just did it so well that they just like got a step above everybody else who likes to do these like catchy choruses and stuff. It really is like a lot of personality, a lot of confidence that comes out in their music. I would say it's kind of like got a Roy's on steroids feel to it. Or like I think my first comparison I made was I was like, it was like if Roy's and Kodomo Dragon did a fusion dance and then got struck by lightning. That's what POIDOL's music sounds like. And I mean that in a really good way. It's really engaging and upbeat. And it's like, it is heavier so that it like grabs more people's attention, I feel like, because they come in hard, they're not like, I don't know how to describe it. Without sounding like a dick. I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but I mean, like, I guess the way I would say it is, it's like they don't like just come traipsing in like, we are this anime band, we're singing a catchy tune, hope you buy the single. They like rush in and they're like, really like with their sound, and it's like loud and big, and it's like, it's not little like synths sprinkled in the background. It's like 3 or 4 of them, and it's like booming, and it's like uh, but it's like an explosion of glitter, like that kind of stuff. And then the PVs themselves, by the way, are really well produced, and the look is really really stylish and well pulled off. So it's nice to see a Kira Kira K band that I don't like roll my eyes at immediately, if I'm being honest. I try and be nice, but when it's the same song over and over again, and keep in mind, like, I'm from the era, like my particular era of Visual K, where I was like, God, that was some good stuff, includes Vivid. So every Kira Kira, everybody who was around when Vivid was around, Kira Kira K bands that come now are standing in their shoes. But POIDOL I don't really have that problem with, because it's like, it's just a different personality to a degree, and it's like that energy. I really like the energy. Like, they're really energetically happy. Like, they're really passionate about being sparkly and upbeat and almost aggressive. And some of their music's a little aggressive. That's actually what piqued my interest at first. Is POIDOL did a really smart thing before they came out, but before they debuted officially. So this first single that they debuted with, which was when did that come out? Like the first of 2017? No, it was this year, right? It was 2018. Yeah. Okay, I'm not time warping. So Sapphire. So they put out the two B-sides like months apart on the Goemon Records channel, like leading up to their actual release of their single, like their first single. So Sapphire was the PV. It came out, I guess, in January. But so they put out I believe it was Shukusei Elegy, and I don't know if I think it was, no, first they put out Momoku Matchmaker, and then they put out Shukusei Elegy, and I don't remember if they put out Senko, which was one of the B-sides on one of the types prior. I don't think they did, but yeah, so it was really cool that they did that, because they like dedicated 2 lyric videos to it, and the lyric videos were like these crazy trippy like animations going all over the place, but the B-sides themselves were kind of set you up for what to expect from the single. But they were like Shukusei Elegy is like, I still listen to that song. It's probably my favorite POIDOL song. Like I was hooked on that song because it's very catchy and quirky and heavy. It's quite heavy for a POIDOL song, I guess. But like it has this like banging like hook, that leads right into this like catchy, crazy chorus. It's like hyper digitalized. So when I saw that, I was like, is this like the overclocked version of Kodomo Dragon? Because I like the overclocked version of Kodomo Dragon if it is. So it's like crazy and electric and like, like all over the place in terms of like, well, it was more the video that was all over the place. The song is like, it's very well focused. It's like lightning in a bottle, that kind of thing. So when I heard that, I was like, oh man, this is going to be like Pentagon all over again. It's not going to be a slow, gradual growth like how Harlequin was, and when Goemon was, starting to rebuild their lineup. It's going to be like Pentagon, where it's, they tease a little bit, people get interested, and then they start putting out singles and it explodes. So, which I hope would happen for POIDOL, because it's, I mean, they're, as a result, like Sapphire, the PV, first of all, is epic, and the song itself is super epic. And it's like, and I was listening to this, I was like, this is like overclocked Roy's. I love it, though. I loved like the faster, more energetic thing. I think that's what loses me with a lot of lighter stuff is I'm just like, it's not like energetic enough for adrenaline junkies like me. I suspect a lot of like people that are that you would call metalheads, like people that only listen to metal, they might not actually be metalheads. They might be like that too. They could stand to hear from like a glittercore band like like POIDOL, I guess. But it makes me smile. They make me smile. Their music makes me smile, and it's very it's nice to have something optimistic that you can also use to help you wake up every now and then. I liked Eureka a lot. Aqua Blue I thought was interesting. I thought the aesthetic was amazing. I think most of the singles were like them kind of testing the waters in terms of, well, what if we like broaden our sound? Like what if a little bit, like, start mixing things up. So, which usually they, bands do before gearing up for, something longer than a single, like it's like they're kind of poking around, like, can I make this kind of song? Can I make this kind of song? Yeah. And then they have their upcoming single, which is Lips. And I guess that's like, how would you guys describe Lips? Is it like their sexy PV? Is that their, so where they show their sultry side or whatever? I only heard the music itself. I wasn't. I don't know if I actually saw the video. Because I had it pulled up. I was listening. Actually, let me just check in the chat while you guys answer that. That'll be. It should make sense. I was actually listening to POIDOL while I was setting up, and it actually was helping me wake up a little bit more. Like just before I started this stream. I got a lot of sleep last night finally, but I think it was just the sheer amount that I was awake before. My body started to be like, oh, dude, like leading up to this stream. So I've been doing a few things to wake me back up, but I plan on sleeping many hours again tonight as well. Because I actually woke up at a reasonable hour this morning. I want to keep the streak up now. Be a degenerate, Delta, says Gula. Yeah, this is a pro-degeneracy chat for sure. I'm just going off, just going off. I'm gonna come in one day. Everybody's drunk in the chat. I'm amping them up every chance I get. I stand going on every time the Eureka gift comes up later. I hear it. Oh, you hear? Oh, yeah. I'd probably put in a jar of lightning bugs, a pinch of glitter, and a diamond. Yes, there is that. Aqua Blue is 100% aesthetic perfection. Yeah, I actually think POIDOL might be a little underrated in terms of the aesthetics, because I was obviously had to look back through these for building this kind of a stream, and I was I was kind of thrown off by I was like, because it's usually I'm seeing it in motion, or I'm listening to their music because they're up on Apple Music, thank God. just listening to it because it's so catchy. It's very utility purpose for me. If music's like really energetic and I can be in a loop and I can really like go, uh, like do stuff while listening to it, like that's like that means it's gonna get a lot of playtime out of me. Just if nothing else, for the fact that I need something like that to like help propel me a little bit throughout the day. So. Their aesthetic has been amazing from the beginning. Sorry, I trailed off there. Yeah, that's what I was going to get at, is that their aesthetic has been great from day one. So, and their lyric PVs, I was like, they were right up my alley personally, but I mean, come on, like the lyric PVs, even though they put out before the first PV, like I just knew something was up because it was like I know actual crazy effort went into the amount of like shapes and like effects that were going all over the screen throughout those lyric PVs. Like that dude must have been in After Effects so long his computer caught fire or something. Like, so I think I like how much they're just really everybody. Well, they, as in like POIDOL and everybody around them, they just seem to really be doubling down and tripling down on, this kind of a vibe, if you will. And I'm also glad it's them because they seem to be the right personality for it. Like, because like I said, like Pentagon's like a weird band, for example, and kind of all over the place to begin with. That's just how they are. But like the most annoying parts about them would be like they would just like randomly pop into this anime course and it's really catchy, please buy our single, and it just never like quite fit for them because because there's bands that it fits for, like POIDOL, and so it was like it came out of nowhere. And Arlequin in the past, when they were trying to be that band, it just made it feel like their music could be so much more, when in reality all they're trying to do is but they're stuck hung up on trying to keep putting out this same kind of a song and get to hit status with it. But POIDOL, it's they have the personality that matches the kind of music I think that's gonna click with a lot of people, and they came at it with so much more energy. That's what I think is like the really big differentiating feature here, because they brought the energy level in, and it's like in the persona as well. Because like the other two bands I just mentioned, like they have energy, or they have they're heavy. There's like certain kinds of high energy things going on, but it's not like but it's not like this. I don't know if I would actually call it energy. It's like that's just like heaviness, and it's like, yeah, it's heavy and hardcore, right? So this will work, right? But like POIDOL kind of came in with like authentic energy in their personality, and they reflected that into their music, and I think that's what makes it so engaging. And something they're doing with like all their synths and background stuff too, because it's like they spam that shit hardcore in the background on POIDOL, and I don't hate it. It doesn't sound cheap. It doesn't sound like someone like got on a shitty like synthy keyboard and just went beep a doop beep a doop and like put that on a loop in the background. Maybe that's why I like it, is because it's like they're spamming a bunch of really high quality background effects and noises and melodies, and someone's going in there but someone seems to have a plan, because that shouldn't work normally. So I also saw, as an aside, I just remembered because I pulled it up in Apple Music. They released a single in a version, I guess, for each of their members. So I thought that was interesting. Because I know they lost their drummer, I believe, right? Let me pull this up. Let me pull up our news for it. They lost a drummer, they gained a drummer. My bad. Okay. I wasn't sure if they made a single version for the new drummer. The ones I have access to are the ones on Apple Music, I guess. Oh, unless I skipped it, because I think the fourth, one of the four didn't have a B side on it or something. It was. Let me pull these up. Yeah. Okay, so they did it for all four. Sorry, my downloads confused myself. So, yeah, I thought that was funny, or not funny. I thought that was thought it was interesting. And yes, as chat says, that album art though is yeah, it's like it's great. It's very much a visual representation of um, uh, they are a visual representation of their music, which is like really slick and elegant, or not elegant. No, not elegant. Really slick and um, slick and stylish and like focused in theme. Um, but it's just that theme is a bunch of slick and stylish and focused things exploding all at once. Um, yeah, that's the analogy I'm gonna have to roll with for now. um, so yeah, moving forward, I think it would be cool to see an album from them. I feel like an album would be just like a fun roller coaster. It would be like the album equivalent of riding like a bullet train, just like pew, like it's just like it might feel like it's over in 20 minutes when it's like a 48-minute album, just because like just the nature of their music, man. And then you just spam it over and over, you on replay. It's kind of wild because you didn't know they were a Wait, the art design on their singles is really good too. It's kind of wild because if you didn't know they were a baby band, you probably wouldn't think they're one. Yeah, hopefully, like bands like these do succeed because it sets the standard that like that is what we want out of an indie band now. And honestly, I think the technology is there, for that to begin with. And we live in an age where artists do have the technology to just build everything from scratch and stuff like that. I don't, but I think a lot of artists do a good job with that. But I think it's good to normalize it as much as possible, so like indie artists don't feel demoralized. Like, oh no, just like oh, I can't do that. You need a producer for that. You need an artist for that. It's like, oh no, you just learn how to use like the software for it real quick, and it's pretty easy now. And just do that. like, so this is probably the result of like their album artwork is probably the result of like either that or graphic designers getting cheaper, more people becoming graphic designers, that kind of thing. Which is good because the more affordable the technology gets, it's good for artists. The more affordable the technology gets, the more indie artists you'll start seeing, and yeah, there you go. This might be obvious when you look at them, but Nana and Rand are brothers, the vocalist and the bassist. Um, really, I did not know that. Oh my goodness. Oh, I yeah, I can see the resemblance, but um, I wouldn't have picked it out at first. It's hard to with the makeup and all the different designs and style and colors going on. It's like your eyes are wandering like all over the place anyway, so it's like it's hard to notice the similarities when you're so struck by the differences. um, I have their versions of Aqua Blue, and the B side is on. And the B side on Ron's is my favorite B side of theirs so far. I'll have to re-listen to that one again. I think the freshest of their music that I've listened to the single a few times. I just remembered one of is Aqua Blue. I just remember one of the. I just don't remember one of the. I think one of the B sides kind of stuck with me a little bit, but. I was gonna give it a few more passes because it was obvious. It was like I had just gone through the other two again for memory's sake, for good old memories or whatever, and like marathoning those first two singles is like it's like you're on like a one track mind to like I don't know to like energy zone or whatever. So. Uh, yeah. So. All right. I think I'm gonna go ahead and check out here, guys. I guess it was the POIDOL half hour, the POIDOL power half hour. But yeah, that's really all I had to say on them. Thankfully, they are releasing singles at a very reasonable rate. You know, I would be happy to do a listening party for Lips when it comes out. You know, since Goemon has now put all of their artists on Apple Music and Spotify. Well done, by the way, Goemon. Very good. Good. And I was just trying to think of other POIDOL related streams that would come out. I mean, I'm gonna have to bring. I would be bringing them up. My general parting conclusions for POIDOL is anytime we're talking about Kirike now, I bring up POIDOL because like they've just made such a splash, such a good start, and it's actually some Kirike music that I'm actually into, which is really rare. Like it's first since Roy's, I think, and then before that it was Vivid. So yeah. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Thank you for being so patient and waiting. I had actually wanted to cover these guys for a while. Maybe I mean these two streams we did were pretty short, and I don't think there's any problem with short streams, but like I'm thinking in the future maybe next time we have a POIDOL type scenario and we get but it's like they release one single or whatever. Maybe I'll do like a short 15-minute stream if you know, if I get like a bunch of requests about it, just to do it just for the hell of it. I hear there's people on YouTube that watch videos that are less than 30 minutes long, so I don't know. Maybe we'll make some new friends that way. Okay, so I will see you guys in about an hour, I believe, for Kiryu's Rainbow Horror Show. We're gonna go through some of their stuff. But yeah, POIDOL. If you guys haven't checked out their music, check it out. It's not hard to find. The PVs are out there, and yeah, go support those boys, those electric sparkly boys. All right, guys, peace out.